What is up, guys? My name is Jake Myers, and today is part one of a 10-part series on how to build muscle for beginners. These videos will be pretty brief and a very general summary, but they'll be very applicable, and by the end of it, you should have enough, if not more than enough information to get started on reaching your dream body. In today's video, we'll be discussing frequency and training splits, what they are, how to use them, what's the optimal way of using them, very basic stuff. And then in the further videos, we'll get more into the specifics on volume, exercises, rep ranges, recovery, all that good stuff. So there will be a lot more to come. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. What is frequency? Well, frequency is the number of times you hit a particular muscle group in 1 week. So if I hit my biceps only on Monday, every Monday I hit bis, that's only once a week. Whereas if I hit it Monday and Thursday, now we got twice a week. Pretty self-explanatory. So why is there different frequencies? Why don't we just hit it once a week? Well, what frequency allows us to do throughout a given week and throughout obviously months and multiple weeks is every time we hit a muscle, right, we damage it, and then it grows and repairs, and we damage it again, and it comes back a little bit more. And it's just like this slow little incline of breaking down a little bit more than last time and growing a little bit more than last time. So frequency allows us to break down a muscle group more times throughout a week, and thus can recover more and thus can get greater gains. So what is the correct frequency and how do we use it? Number one, to answer that first question, anywhere from 2 to 6 seems to be the most optimal. There's not a big difference between hitting, your chest twice a week and hitting your chest 3 times a week. It's probably a little significance, but nothing major. That'd be more like a priority plan. But and then when you go from 3 to 4, very minimal. 4 to 5, almost nothing. And 5 to 6, there's really no tangible difference. But frequency can also allow us to get in more volume, which has been shown to grow more muscle, so you can also use it for that. But how do I know which frequency is correct for me? Well, there's 2 main ways, and number one, how many days a week can you work out? And that pretty much determines your frequency for you. If you can only work out twice a week, well, then your frequency is 2. But let's say you can work out 6 days a week. Then it gets a little bit more blurry because you could, hit your legs 5 times a week, 4 times a week, 3 times a week, 2 times a week. You have a pretty huge spectrum of what you could do. So really the ultimate way of determining your frequency is, are you recovering on time? Let's say I hit biceps on Monday. I'm supposed to hit biceps Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And every single Wednesday, every single time, consistently, when I'm coming in to hit my biceps, I'm just like, oh man, I'm still sore from Monday's workout. This is not gonna be the best lift. And I'm just dragging through the workout. I'm even more sore after. At that point, you gotta think, so we damaged it on Monday, but it's supposed to grow and recover, and then once it recovers, then we hurt it again. But what you did was you hurt it on Monday, it starts coming back, and then on Wednesday you're hurting it more. This does not mean that it's gonna come back even higher. It's probably just gonna be damaged and grow quite a bit less. So you just wanna pick a frequency that you are consistently recovering on time. So for some people, if they have like stubborn calves, and they hit calves on Monday, they hit crazy hard, plenty of sets, but they're not sore the next day. They just recovered. Well, then you can hit it again and then maybe take a little break because at that point they are sore. It ultimately just comes from, are you recovering on time? And this will kind of tie into training split, and I'll explain that in just a second. But yeah, that's frequency, just very simple. The next thing is training split, which is just defined by how are you splitting up all the muscle groups between the days that you lift? You got chest day, are we doing a bro split? What kind of split are we doing? What muscle groups are we hitting on what days? So the first one we have is full body and is exactly what it sounds like. This is typically 2 to 3 days, and every time you are coming to the gym, you are hitting everything. This is typically big compound movements. You know, you got your horizontal push along with a vertical push and a horizontal pull along with a vertical pull. Maybe some arms, maybe some calves here and there. But this is just, you're hitting everything every single time. And I will get into how to do all of that in just a second. A second type of the most optimal and very common split is a PPL, push-pull legs. So on day one, you are hitting all your pushing movements for all your pushing muscle groups. So you got your chest, your triceps, your front delts. And then the following day, you hit all your pulling muscle groups. You know, you got your back, your rear delts, your biceps. And then the third day, obviously, legs, you got your quads, glutes, hams, calves, all that good stuff. And then normally a rest day right in between, and then you repeat that. So you'd hit, you know, that PPL twice a week. So that's typically a 6-day split. Then you have upper lower, which again, exactly what it sounds like. So on Monday, you hit all your upper body groups, and then Tuesday, all your lower, maybe a couple rest days, and then hit all your upper and hit all your lower again. So what is the most optimal split? And what's the criteria? Like, how do I go about determining this? Well, as long as you're following these 3 main rules, I'd say you're in a very good position. Number one, want to be hitting that frequency of at least 2 times a week. That's pretty important. I've made personally great progress from 2 times a week. The literature supports 2 times a week. And it's better for a beginner to start on the lesser side. And that way, you know, you can do the bare minimum and get crazy effects. I mean, you're gonna be making muscle from looking at the weights. So starting off on the easier side, not necessarily easier, but just less. And that gives you room to advance. So when you start to plateau, oh, why don't we try my weaker muscle groups 3 times a week? Boom, new stimulus. Go for that till I plateau. It just gives you room to advance. And as a beginner, you really don't need any more than 2 times a week. Again, recovering before your next lift, super important. If you're still super sore from your last lift, you need to add a rest day, or you need to change your split to where you're not sore every time you're coming into the gym. Because, you know, this whole like more pain, more gain thing, like, yes, pain you do need, right? But the right kind, and the growing happens in the recovery. So you want to make sure that you're recovering. And number 3, the most common thing I see is people tell me, yeah, I can work out 6 days a week. And then they're on week 1, they hit 6 days a week, but on week 2, they're down to 5. Week 3, they hit 5 again. Week 4, they're down to 3, bad week. Week 5, they're up to 6 again. Week 6, they're 2. Like, they're just all over the place. And that is not at all ideal or optimal or what we want. So even if it's only 2 times a week, don't think that, you know, you only working out 2 times a week makes you weak or you're not going to get optimal gains. That just doesn't make any sense. So whatever days a week that you can hit 100% of the time, 100% of the time, you're like, I can hit 3 days in the gym every single week. I can do that. Then do that. You got to do what's right for you. And if it's 6, then do 6. I don't want to discourage that. And then real quick, I'll just get into how to choose which split to go off based off how many days you can work out. So if you're going for 2 to 3 days, I'd recommend full body. Again, you can split this up however you want. 4 days, upper lower tends to work well because you can do upper lower, take a couple rest days, upper lower. That's a good split too. 5, you can get a little bit creative with this one. It's kind of a spin off of upper lower, but you could do upper lower and then have an arm specific day, and then upper lower again, just adding some more arm volume and frequency. And 6 days a week would be the PPL, push pull legs, rest, push pull legs. And in the next videos, I will be describing, you know, what exercises to choose, all that good stuff. So this is just really just a broad outline of what is to come, but very necessary for the key building blocks for your training split. Thank you guys so much. Please share this with anyone who you think would gain value from it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, anything you guys want to do. And thank you guys so much. See you in the next video.